to Generation Car. Today we're diving into a question that's been on the minds of truck enthusiasts for years. Is the Toyota Tacoma still the king of mid-size trucks in 2025? We all know that Toyota's Tacoma has built quite a reputation over the years, but with new competitors entering the mid-size truck segment and some serious upgrades from rivals, the Tacoma might not have the throne all to itself anymore. Or does it? Today we're going to break down everything from its off-road prowess, performance, reliability, and even its competition. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear answer to whether the Toyota Tacoma is still the top dog in the mid-size truck world. But before we jump into it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Generation Car, and ring the bell so you never miss an update on the latest in the automotive world. Now let's get into it. A brief history of the Tacoma. Let's take a step back for a second and talk about Tacoma's history. The Toyota Tacoma was introduced in 1995 as a replacement for the Toyota Hilux, which was a pretty beloved vehicle in its own right. Over the years, the Tacoma has become synonymous with dependability, ruggedness, and the ability to handle tough terrains. But it wasn't just about off-roading. From its early days, the Tacoma was positioned as the ideal mid-size truck for anyone who wanted the practicality of a full-size pickup but in a more manageable, versatile package. Today, the Tacoma is still one of the best-selling mid-size trucks in the US, and it has remained almost unchanged regarding overall design and formula. But with that said, let's dive into the current version of the Tacoma, the 2025 model, and see how it stacks up against some serious competition. Performance and powertrain. Alright, let's talk about performance. At the heart of the 2025 Toyota Tacoma is its impressive powertrain options. The Tacoma is still offered with two engine choices: a 2.7-liter four-cylinder engine that delivers about 159 horsepower, and the more popular 3.5-liter V6 engine with 278 horsepower. Now you might be thinking, that V6 sounds pretty solid, but is it enough to compete with the bigger engines found in rivals like the Ford Ranger or the Chevrolet Colorado? Good question. While the Tacoma's V6 engine is powerful enough for most tasks, whether you're towing, hauling, or just driving around town, it doesn't exactly have the edge when compared to its competition. The Ford Ranger, for instance, comes with a turbocharged 2.3-liter four-cylinder engine that produces 270 horsepower, and the Chevy Colorado offers a 3.6-liter V6 that matches Toyota's engine in horsepower but often edges it out when it comes to towing capacity. But here's where the Tacoma still shines: its off-road capability. The TRD Off-Road and TRD Pro trims of the Tacoma are where this truck really makes its mark. The Tacoma's rugged suspension, locking rear differential, and crawl control systems are top tier when it comes to off-road fun. If you want a truck that can tackle any terrain, especially in a more compact and maneuverable size, the Tacoma is hard to beat. Sure, the Ranger and Colorado offer some off-road versions too, but if you're really into off-roading, the Tacoma's setup and pedigree speak for themselves. This truck is built for adventure. Towing and payload capacity. Let's move on to towing and payload, another important factor when choosing a mid-size truck. The Toyota Tacoma's maximum towing capacity is about 6,800 pounds, and the payload capacity is around 1,440 pounds depending on the configuration. This makes it a solid choice for people who need to haul gear, tow a boat, or pull an RV, but when you look at its competitors, the numbers are getting closer. The Ford Ranger and Chevy Colorado can both tow up to 7,500 pounds when properly equipped. That's a little more towing power than the Tacoma offers, so if you're looking for pure towing muscle, one of these might be a better choice. But again, we come back to what the Tacoma is built for: reliability. Toyota has built a reputation for creating trucks that last hundreds of thousands of miles with minimal issues. If you're looking for long-term durability and the ability to handle daily workloads for years to come, the Tacoma is tough to beat. Interior and tech features. Okay, performance and capability are great, but what about the interior and tech? The Toyota Tacoma's interior has evolved over the years, and the 2025 model is no exception. You'll find a decent-sized 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Amazon Alexa as standard, which is great for tech-savvy drivers. However, the Tacoma's interior is often considered a little more utilitarian compared to some of its rivals. The Ford Ranger and Chevrolet Colorado have a more refined, modern interior, with more premium materials and better overall ergonomics. But that's not to say the Tacoma doesn't have a solid interior. It's just a little more straightforward and less luxurious. The seating is comfortable though, and the overall build quality is top-notch. The rear seats on double cab models have decent space, but if you're planning on carrying passengers regularly, some of the competitors might offer a more spacious cabin. When it comes to tech, the Toyota Tacoma doesn't quite have the edge over rivals like the Ranger, which offers more advanced tech features like a larger touchscreen and more safety tech standards. But for a mid-size truck, the Tacoma still gets the job done. Price and value. Let's talk price. In 2025, the Toyota Tacoma starts at around $28,000, and depending on the trim level, it can go all the way up to around $45,000 for a fully loaded TRD Pro model. This puts it right in the middle of the price range for mid-size trucks, with rivals like the Ford Ranger and Chevrolet Colorado coming in at similar price points. While Tacoma's price is competitive, it holds one thing that many others can't: resale value. Toyota is known for creating vehicles that hold their value better than most, so even if you're spending a little more upfront, you'll likely get more back when you sell or trade it in. Final thoughts. So, is the Toyota Tacoma still the king of mid-size trucks? It really depends on what you're looking for. If you want a reliable, rugged, and off-road capable truck that will last a long time with minimal issues, the Tacoma still stands tall in that category. However, if you're seeking towing power, payload capacity, or a more refined interior, competitors like the Ford Ranger and Chevrolet Colorado have made serious strides and might be a better fit. At the end of the day, the Toyota Tacoma is still an excellent choice if you're after a truck that can take you off the beaten path and deliver year after year of tough, dependable service. Alright, that's it for today's video. Let me know in the comments, do you think the Toyota Tacoma is still the king of mid-size trucks, or has another truck taken the crown? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to stay updated with everything car-related here on Generation Car. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.